outstanding job with all the basic requirements, everything from left face to right face to marching in a platoon to knowing when the young Marine birthday is and lots of history and those things, both young Marine related and Marine Corps related. We went out to Camp Pendleton, had an outstanding time, had some time down on the beach. Got up real early in the morning, had the bad cop here on the good cop, that's the bad cop. Get them up early in the morning along with our Marines from the guard that to come out and volunteer their time and service to train some of our youth. Most of them are pretty young to begin with, and they volunteer their time to come out and help the next generation of maybe potential Marines, but in the end, just really good citizens. That's really what the goal is. The goal of the program is threefold in my view. One, we train some camaraderie and teamwork. That's a big thing. We want them to learn how to work together as a team, regardless of size, religion, color, any of that sort of stuff. And age, as you can see, 8 to 18, it's really inspiring to see some of the younger kids motivated to train with the older kids and not intimidated. And then the other side of that is pretty inspiring to see the older kids taking the time to help the younger kids with learning specific tasks or negotiating physically demanding obstacles. So that's one part. The second part of it is leadership and discipline, which is probably what brought most of the families to bring their children to us, to maybe add a little bit more of yes sir, no sir, respect and discipline to their life. Kind of hard to do 2 hours a week and 1 week in a month, but it does take hold. If you reinforce it at home, it takes hold, and eventually it'll become a way of life for them instead of a 2-hour period or a 4-hour or 2-day weekend on a Saturday and Sunday. So that's the second piece, is the leadership and discipline. And then the third piece, we could not get 8-year-olds to 18-year-olds to do those two things if we didn't put some fun in. So the other third is we got to have some fun. Everything from visiting Quantico in the museum to rifle range at Camp Allen to the obstacle course to sailing on the 20th to the Naval Academy in July to visiting some ships in August. We try and add one significant event on a weekend, Saturday or Sunday, for our training outside of the Mondays. Mondays we only get 2 hours, and they're mostly focused on motion requirements, drilling, and physical fitness during that time. So a great program. I'm proud and I'm privileged and I'm honored to be the CEO of the unit. I've got an outstanding staff at the XO, Miss Lacey Caruth, Mrs. Pam, Mrs. Richmond, Mrs. Sharon Paul, Mr. Paul, back here looks like a real tall young Marine, and Mrs. Heberman inside, and Mrs. Joy Blackman. We could not run this program without that internal structure to our staff. In addition to that, we have Marine Corps League that always supports us. We have the Marine Corps Counterintelligence Association, for those of you that came to the name change ceremony, that supports us. And I just received word from Mrs. Whitehouse, Carol Whitehouse, the namesake of our unit. She has, and her family to actually fund the transportation to us to go to the Naval Academy. And that family has already given a lot with the life of their son to our country, and they continue to give to this program with information and funding and support. Better support of the unit. So with that said, I will shut up and move on, let the guest speaker and our guest speakers, and we're going to retire a few young Marines. We're going to do the program anywhere from 5 years to 11 years. We're going to promote